A recent Reuters investigation has found that the US military launched a secret disinformation campaign to discredit Chinese vaccines in the Philippines, a nation severely impacted by the COVID-19. The disclosure has sparked widespread condemnation of the US scheme from public health experts. Even former US intelligence officials have declared the disinformation campaign. What the Pentagon did crosses the line, said Greg Treverton, former chairman of the US National Intelligence Council. China's Sinovac vaccine, the only type available in the Philippines during the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic, was smeared repeatedly under the Pentagon program. Reuters reported that it identified at least 300 accounts on X, formerly Twitter, that matched descriptions shared by the former US military officials familiar with the Philippines operation. Almost all were created in the summer of 2020 and centered on the slogan China and virus, meaning China is the virus in Tagalog, a major language of the Philippines. Due to the disinformation campaign, vaccination rates in the Philippines remained dismally low at the time. Only about 2.1 million out of the country's 140 million people were fully vaccinated, far below the target of 70 million for that year. Over 60,000 Filipinos died, and many of them would have survived if not for the disinformation campaign against the Sinovac vaccine. Former Philippine presidential spokesman Harry Roque said on his social media. Reuters report shocked the whole Philippines. The malign action of the United States has seriously harmed the health of the Filipino people and hampered the Philippine efforts to fight against COVID-19. We didn't do a good job sharing vaccines with partners. A senior US military officer directly involved in the campaign was quoted as saying by Reuters. So what was left to us was to throw shade on China's. America's dirty moves come at a cost for the Philippines. For the sake of its selfish gains, Washington never hesitates to sacrifice an ally. As British-American historian Bernard Lewis pointed out in his book, Notes on the Century, Reflections of a Middle East Historian, the real problem with having the Americans as allies is you never know when they will turn around and stab you in the back.